Susan Frank Anderson here again at the Journey In. Welcome in. Remember, we're taking our journey, and it's an internal journey. We're looking inside ourselves. I'm trying to help you gain a perspective. Now today is a continuation of a series I started on love. And it's a big topic, obviously. Love is a small word, but in the world, it is a big, I guess you would call it something too big to grasp. It's a word, and it means something different to everybody. And we do have collective ideas about love, but personally, and how I love personally, that is really up to each individual. So I want to talk today about immature love. Because of my book that I've written called Murture, I talk about how to get the love that keeps evolving and growing. So if love is all you need, it certainly has to grow, and it has to develop into higher energy. Just let me show you what I'm talking about for a second. Okay, so when my son was in first grade, he made this for me for Valentine's Day. Very sweet. He was 6 at the time. Now he's 34. What if I got this from him now? Well, I'd say, well, that was pretty sweet. I'm glad you did that. But if he was still only able to do this, if he hadn't developed in his way to love me or to be able to relate to me, our relationship would still be immature. Same thing with my husband. Now I'm going to go out on a branch. I'm going to show you a picture. Okay, so this is my husband and I when we got engaged. I'm going to put it right up here front and center. Obviously, I do not look like that anymore. And by the way, neither does he. So we were very young, 22 to be exact. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how many years ago, but a long time ago. So we have changed on the outside. We look very different today. Inside, I hope we've also changed. That's not true for some people. Some people are still living out of their 22-year-old self, or younger, depending on what they get triggered about. Now, we have grandkids now, and we even love them in ways, and they're teaching us to return to some of that innocent love. So it's not that you have to mature and get rid of younger love. You keep it. You still want the joy, and grandkids come back and remind you of that kind of love. If you're fortunate enough to have them. If you're not, though, you still can reconnect. That's what the Journey In is about, is journeying back into your inner being. So, like a pine cone, if it's just a pine cone and the seeds in it never develop, it just lays on the ground, it's not going to do anything. It's not going to develop into a beautiful tall tree, whatever kind of pine tree this one was from. But those seeds have to fall, and they have to be developed over again. So everything, I want you to get the idea of everything is evolving and changing. We don't really recognize it a lot of the times until we look in the mirror and I go, oh, hey girl, you're not that same person you were before. But I know I'm not on the inside, because on the inside, I have so changed. I haven't changed though in love. Love has always been a passion for me, loving others, relationships. Relationships were key to me, always. Now in high school, I was talking on a phone to begin with, like this. Check this old phone. Yep, that was my black phone. Hi girlfriend, how you doing? Yep, we talked about silly stuff, immature stuff. We talked about our boyfriends. We talked about each other. We gossiped. Then I got a princess phone. I don't have one now. I wish I did, because it was one of those pink phones you put in the cradle. So I thought that was, that's the most mature phone. Now I have a cell phone. Oh yeah, I have the latest cell phone. All my data's on it. I could go everywhere and be connected with everybody on that phone. And an interesting thing, I always loved the phone. Back in high school, I was talking on the phone all the time. Now I talk on the phone every day. I'm a therapist, and I meet with my clients over the phone. That way I can talk with them all over the country, all over the world. And we connect. But if I were still connecting in immature ways, I wouldn't have developed. I wouldn't be able to help them develop. So the love that I'm talking about is love in the present. Love in the present. How can you be present as you are now and mature in love and the way you love, the way you give love and the way you receive love? That's what Murture is about. It's how to mature out of developmental immaturity. And the way to do that is going to be to decide, do I want to develop my love continuously under the growth of human influence? Or do I want to continue on this pathway of where I was down here as a kid and just grow and grow and grow? Notice the bottom path. It's still a human pathway of how humans grow and develop. So when you're growing as a human, you're under the influence of humans. You're conditioned by their love. You're thinking about their love. Well, does he love me? Does she love me? Do I love me? So it's always going to be a mixed bag. But here's the takeaway today. When you're only under the influence of human love, it's going to be limited. It's like under any influence. You're going to be in some kind of a trance or some kind of a way of being that is dependent on other humans. And we never get not dependent on other humans, but we don't need to be dependent on them for how we feel about ourselves, how we love ourselves, how we grow in love. So today, I'm going to take this. There's the human path of love, full of human pathology. And then there's the spiritual journey. This is what we're on, a spiritual journey. And I'm going to show you, my next video will be to show you the difference when you grow and develop on a spiritual pathway versus just staying on the human pathway. So I'll cut right away, and I'm going to cut away on the video today. That is all. I'm glad that you came in today, but I notice I am cutting away the human pathology. Going to show you how to get that healed. Come back next time as we stay on the spiritual path. Thanks for stopping by the Journey In. Bye-bye now.